यन्वन मृदी घट भ्रांतिम सुक्तो वा रजतस्थितिम तद्वद ब्रह्मणि जीवत्वं वीक्ष्यमाणेन पश्यति. So Vikshamani Sati, the one person who realizes, who understands. So what the person understands? The person understands that Atma is Brahman. Ayam Atma Brahma iti. So once the person understands this thing, then what happens? Brahmani jīvatvam na pashyati. In Brahman, the person will not see the jīva as jīva, or will not consider Brahma as jīva, or will not see that the status of being jīva, will not consider himself that I am a jīva. And he gave the example how, even if for a common person, if the pot is being broken, so once the pot is being broken, now there is no pot, there is neither the form, neither name. And that name and form is nothing but Vranti, called illusion. So once the pot is destroyed, the person does not see in that broken pot, let us say, so never sees that this, in that clay, broken, or you can say clays are falling here and there. The person does not see that, oh, it was a pot. Okay, oh God, my mother had given this pot. Ancestor property. Still it is continuing, you understand? Now let me put glue, let me do this, let me do that to fix that pot. If I cannot use, at least it should be monumental, so that whole life I should spend time to take care of that pot. If the person does that, what will happen? Look at yourself. Do you do the same thing or not sometimes? However, say that once the pot is broken, even if a common person, even if a sensitive person, even if an ordinary person does not see that, seeing this broken pot or clay pot, broken clay pot, does not see the name and form of the pot, only looks at clay. What you do? Straight away you throw it out. Very nicely, that's why this is what is being done in the culture. I think I have shared this thing very carefully long back. In in Odisha, this Puri king, it's very nice concept, till now they follow. Because as per the rule, Puri king of the Puri temple, will not bend down to anybody, because it does not consider anybody as God except Jagannath. In fact, the present king was a lawyer, practiced, wanted to practice law. In fact, all these Supreme Court lawyers, they joined together. They said, no, you cannot practice in the court, because in India it was, now they have changed, that you have to tell judges, oh Lord, okay? So that Lord is there. So because of all these British rules and other things, so you cannot say, and it is against, the cultural practices, because you cannot say Lord, this judge. And they said, and he did not, practice at all. Very nice concept, because he himself considered that he is the first servant of Lord. So Prathama Sevaka, that's why in the car festival he does, brooming. And the concept comes because of, there was a conflict between Kanchi and Puri, because he went all the way to win till Kanchi, and from Kanchi means Tamil Nadu, okay, Kanchipuram. So Tamil Nadu, and from there to take revenge, whatever, so brought that lady, and from that time there is a concept going on, so that's why he has to broom this chariot as a first servant. Let us not get into that concept. Concept here I would like to highlight here. Very nice concept they have. Suppose the king passes away. So after his death, so whoever is being coronated as a king, whether his son or grandchild or whatever, or adopted somebody, the moment the person is being coronated, because there is a rituals how to take the power and other things, so through the ritualistically they have to take the power from the person. It's a very amazing concept we have in India. It's not like simply, including in the temples, if you observe, suppose the person who is the chief priest of a temple suddenly passes away. When the next person, whoever will be made chief, so they will do a lot of rituals to transfer the power from the person. So let us not, again, is a technical aspect. But here, when the person, this new person becomes king, after he is being coronated, the first information will be given to him. Do you know what? So the guest who had come has left. The guest who had come had left. Means the king, previous king came as a guest, now he has left. This is the exact word they will be using. And do you know this new king what he will say? Oh, whatever remainings left, take it away through the back door. Remove it from the back door, through the back door. That's all. And this king, maybe if his son or grandson or whatever, will not be part of the ritual of one father. It's an amazing concept. And they adopt another person who will be doing the ritual. And that person only will be adapted to do all the rituals, death, ceremonial rituals. Especially a Brahmin will be adopted and will be given a lot of dakshina. Then the person will be taken away. So look at this concept, this is the whole thing. Even if in the culture it is there, that the body is being treated as remainings. The guest has left, remains are there, okay, take it away. Clean it, clear it off. That's why we have this culture. Especially you might have noticed when a person leaves the house, 2-3 things, these cultural practices we follow. Before leaving house, whatever plate you use, eat, you are not it should not be, it should not remain unwashed. It is to be washed. Suppose you are eating on a plate or whatever, leave it in the sink and go. It's not allowed, not supposed to be. No, I put in the, what is that called? Dishwasher. Anyway, no comment, okay? So I have my own problem. And another most important problem is that once the person goes away, after that you are not supposed to clean your place, area. You are not supposed to do the sweeping, you are not supposed to pour water, clean or mopping, you should not do. Only in hotels they can do it, okay, it's allowed. But not in your house. The reason is why only when the person dies, dead body goes, just the moment dead body goes, within a second, we clean the place. So we don't want to keep that anything related to that person. Because if we keep anything related to that person, then what happens? So we are with that energy. But because nowadays neither there is a cultural practices, there is no understanding, nothing is there, then what happens? Only confusion, psychological disturbances. Why I highlight all these things? Because how we see this broken pot, it is like, suppose if this is being broken, I am not breaking, okay, don't worry. If it is broken, Now into the small pieces. So where is specks? If I say, oh, it was specks, now let me join, put together. Many times people do it, okay? The amount of time you waste in joining and maintaining that, it is better not to have a glass, okay? However, so here very carefully being highlighted that even if an ordinary person, when sees something is broken, especially here clay pot is broken, does not emphasize, does not highlight, does not look at the pot's name and form, does not relate with the pot, but looks at clay, is not required, let me put it in backyard. So also another example, this is one is destruction, other one is that when the person was agitated, when the person was very much interested and curiously was calculating, hey, there is a silver, seeing the reflection on a shell on the beach. Now, by going closer to that object, the shell, observing it very carefully, discovers it is not a silver piece, but it is a shell. And the moment the person discovers, this is another level of understanding. The moment the person discovers it is no more a silver, but it is a shell. Now, will that person associate with silver? Will the person look at or start imagining, calculating that it is a silver? In fact, the silver vyavaharam or silver namarupam, both name and form, vanishes then and there. In fact, the person will start hitting his head or her head. How stupid I was. How did I see that it is a silver? But cannot share with anybody. This is what exactly Brahman Jīva. How did I miss this truth, this reality? Maybe because this first example, because this example is very amazing example, both the examples. Because how the first example and second example, there is small difference. Because even though I know it is broken, actually it has no value. But what happens? I have been using this for years. Or somebody who is very important to me, dearer to me, or was dearer to me, has handed over this specs to me. What I'll do? Even it is broken, I'll try my best to join together and keep it. So instead of looking at its usefulness, this is the most important aspect. Instead of looking at its usefulness, I look at the value, the sentiments. And when I look at value and sentiments, now in life, can you improve? Imagine if you are holding on to your sentiments, this is just not one life. Thousands of life you had. And again also thousands of life you are going to have unless you resolve. So how many sentiments you are going to hold on to? Will it be possible to hold on to all sentiments? Finally, you are a sentimental. So how this two happens very carefully. Same thing also because of usefulness or association with this body-mind complex. Because of my old memories with my body-mind complex. Because of tadatmya bhava, oneness with my body-mind complex. In spite of the knowledge, in spite of attending classes, what I have, I think, no, I am so and so. Swamiji, you don't understand, especially when there is headache. Every Vedanta class goes other way around. Only head is remembered, nothing else, okay? Swamiji, you don't understand the pain of a person, okay? And imagine headache is, I can understand. When there is real headless headache, okay? At least headache with head is another level, okay? You can have tablet, you can have something to handle. Imagine headless headache. You understand what is headless headache? What you call as a brainless headache, logicless headache, okay? Your fancy, your what do you call it? Imagination creates conflict or confusion or headache in your life. So continuing, or else I'll be in the same verse. See, including the devices, this is the difference between book and any device. Device looks at you, searches for you. If the person doesn't find you, so takes its own time. But what can I do? Okay. Says next is Yatha mrudi ghato nama kanake kundalavhidha sukto hi rajatakhyati jīva shabdastatha pare. Says, look, yatha mrudi ghatanama kanake kundalavhidha sukto rajatakhyati. So 3 examples he gives. Then finally, tatha jīva iti, jīva sabda iti. Yatha, as we see, in clay ghata. Actually, here, how the pot is being created by the clay, but in reality it is clay. In fact, there is nothing called pot. If the same pot now again read on and we make a doll, so where is pot? Again that doll is being read on to a plate, to a glass. So where is that doll? That means the potness, the dullness, the glassness is nothing but clay. Is it clear? And that potness, glassness or anyness is clay. And again when you look at what is clayness, clayness is nothing but the consciousness. This is another level. Now he uses this word yatha, as we see example that ghataha, the pot, is being imposed. In reality, there is nothing called pot because a name is being given based on the size. If we all agree today, we'll say, no, this is not pot. This is called, this is not ghata, this is matha. This is a house. Why? Because inside this pot, there can be many ants. They can stay for generations together. So we can make it as a house. What is wrong in it? House for whom? Don't ask, okay? So no more we will call as ghataha, but we will call mataha. So nobody can observe. So that means whether it's pataha or ghataha, whatever, or mataha, all these things is being given a name based on a form. And we are so much comfortable, acquainted with the name and form, we forget that after all it is a clay. Number one. Number two says kanake kundalavidha. So the earring, whatever is being there on or made up of gold, or bangles, or ring, or chain, or any other thing, kiritam, any necklace that is created out of gold, again is being highlighted, indeed is gold. There is nothing called any ornament. It is again based on a name and form. But we forget, or if we start losing the sight of gold, this is a good example, but we are interested in ornament because it looks so nice, so good. Then what happens? Now somebody comes and exchanges a bigger ornament, not golden ornament, but this imitated ornament, which is more dazzling, more fashionable, more interesting. Will you take it? Will any sensible person replace that? Definitely not. Because golden ornament has value because it is gold. Whereas imitated ornament has no value. So what do you see there? Do you see ornament or do you see the gold there? So why people buy the gold left, right? Because gold is supposed to be a stable what? Reserve. That's why all internationally, all the money is being calculated based on the gold. Sometimes I observe this point that gold saving is much more interesting than any way of investing money. If you observe, look at the chart. In 20 years of time, if you observe gold saving, it has given much more than including, keeping any sort of investment you do. Let us not, this is not investment class, okay? So I don't know why I talk this point. However, so here, then the third one is suktohi rajata khyati. In shell, the silver, again, is out of confusion. So that means one is usefulness, the clay pot. Second one is value, worth. That is called golden ornament. Third one here is called shell silver. That is called confusion. 3 levels of nama and rupa. Is it clear? And interestingly, the body that we hold, in Brahmani we see that I am jīva, indeed I am Brahman, but I consider I am jīva, is mixture of these 3 plus something more. Usefulness, value, worth, and full of confusion. So these 3 examples have been highlighted in verse number 60. Continuing. Yatheva vyamnilatvam yatha neeram merusthale purushatvam yatha sthano tadvat vishwam chidatmani. Again comes up with new more examples. All are connected to us, okay? Now he says, look. Yatheva vyomni nilatvam. So as we see, the blue sky. Now blueness is attributed to the sky. Now, is there anything called blue sky? Is sky blue? In reality, it is not. But how do we attribute blueness to the sky? Especially when you want to do not have a color choice. You want to buy a t-shirt or a dress or you want to paint. I want sky blue. Sky blue, deep blue, corporate blue. What are the blues, okay? So this sky blue, this blueness belongs to sky. Who gives this? Is it true? Is it reality? But we all see, we all experience. In spite of understanding that there is nothing called blue, there is no blueness, doesn't belong to the sky, still we perceive sky is blue. Why and how? There is another logic, okay? This is not today's science class, okay? Not physics class. Now, second point he highlights that Niram Merustale. So that means how you see the water in the desert as mirage. Especially here the vastness being explained through the blueness. Here the insecurity is being highlighted through the water example. In summer, I am thirsty and I look for water. I happens to be in a desert. Forget desert anywhere nowadays, okay? Especially in the highway when you drive, you can see the, this, what do you call? Mirage like anything, okay? And okay, here you are inside the AC car, you don't enjoy, you will not suffer much, okay? Imagine you are in desert. That's a desert, you are going by feet. And you see this mirage. What will happen to you? So this water that is in desert, now again is a Brahman, is an illusion. And this illusion is being triggered, more visible, more realistic when I am thirsty. If I am not thirsty, it won't be that much realistic. It will be visible, but you will enjoy. You understand what I am highlighting? This aspect. Then he says, interestingly, Purushottam yatha stano. That's a beautiful example. Especially in the night you are coming by walk and the twilight zone. There is no proper street light. And you see a post. So one, some pillar is there, half one, 6 feet. Now what will think? The person is standing. Then from that person it becomes a ghost. Night 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. How come the person will stand? That too in super cold. Hot I can understand. -1 outside. But how can the person stand? Must be ghost. Then what happens? Now the size of ghost is the size of that post. Now you start imagining. So he uses this word, this Purushatvam, that Purushatvam, that seeing, imagining, attributing a man, a person in that post. How it happens? because of your loneliness which has triggered some type of fear in you. More you have fear, the more the sense of loneliness in you, more that stanu, that post will appear as a person. Not only that, you will feel that the fellow is following you. Then you start running, your sound itself will echo, oh, that fellow is running behind you. I am not telling jokes. In our childhood we have gone through, okay, all these dramas. And that's why we say very beautifully, there are 2 points because you people are not exposed to all these things. We say very nicely, if you are not brought up in the village, 50% of your life you will not understand anything. It's a waste of life, okay? I'm sorry to use this word. If you are not brought up in a village, do you know, 50% of your life is a waste. You will not understand anything. So you will say what? Like a child was asked, so where from the milk comes? This is Tamil Nadu joke, okay? Where from milk comes? From Avinbhuth. Like international joke is, where from potato comes? From McDonald's. Because the fellow sees, do you know, this potato chips in the McDonald's only. So what can you say? The child will never understand there is a potato, how the potato looks. Many children do not know what is the size of potato, okay? How does potato is grown? Some of you also, I'll not be shocked. I am sure some of you will not able to recognize potato plant. I am sure. But without potato, you cannot live your life, okay? Please. Anyway, again, this is not agriculture class, but what can I do? Here is being said, how the loneliness, this is the point, creates trigger in me, and there is a fear, and because of that fear, now a post is completely available for me as a person with all sort of transaction. And not only that, after reaching, I also start explaining, look how successful I am. In fact, there was a ghost started following me. I could handle myself. I could reach properly. Hey, look, today I am. This is called success story, okay? Hey, look at your success stories, okay? Whatever you have achieved, okay? Hats one after another. And the best part is when you have your success stories, you are very happy, proud, come to your home. Of course, wife will not bother. You will try to at least draw the attention of the child. Let child at least support, at least appreciate. Hey, look how much I have done. Child will say, Papa, did you bring my toy or did you bring my pen? Did you bring this, that? If you have not brought, all your hat is being thrown away, you understand? Child does not care at all. Be practical, okay? So here, how this each aspect creates hallucination in us. This is what is being pointed out. Each aspect in us creates such a hallucination, and finally we are carried away and we think that is the truth, that is the reality. And he says, Tadvat Vishwam Chidatmani iti. So also, this entire universe in Atma, that which is consciousness, Chit Atmani iti. That means, what I see, that is in my mind. This is for a common person. What I see, that is in my mind. And we have to work in such a way to make sure what is outside I should see that. For that sake, first I need to see what is in my mind. And this what is in my mind, to see, I need to have karma yoga, which will take care of my likes and dislikes, so that mind will be prepared. With the prepared mind, when I am exposed to jnanam, teaching, knowledge, I will be able to understand not only what is in my mind, who is me. Then once I understand, then I will start seeing what is outside. This is a complete journey. More of it.